Hot Pork Sandwich by Margaret Drabble. He had that hungry look in his eyes. I could see it as he crossed the street. He had his eye on me, and a bit of a swagger. From where I stand, at the counter, I can see them coming over the crossing, thinking of what they're about to put in their bellies, wondering if it'll be a BLT or a hot pork sandwich or a baked potato with curry sauce today. You'd be surprised how many of them always order the same. You can start cooking as they cross. This chap looked like a hot pork sandwich man to me, but I was wrong. He was scrambled eggs on toast with beans. But I was right about the hungry look. I was wearing my pink top, that one with the little silver beading round the scoop neck, and I got my lashes on and a new hot pink lipstick. I was showing off my tan, to be honest, and Jack had said, "You'll look great. You'll go on the counter today. Why waste that back in the kitchen?" And I'd laughed and said, "Pimping me out, are you?" And we'd all had a laugh. It's just good fun. It means no harm. This man, he was giving me the once over, and I was having a good look at him. He was a big bloke, very dark, but natural dark, not sunbed dark like me. And he was wearing a faded old T-shirt with World Cup 2010 on it, and a gold chain round his neck. I don't normally like men wearing chains and stuff, but he was all right. While I'm making his cup of tea, he says to me, "Where'd you get that tan?" And I say, "Bilston. Where did you get yours?" "Mother Nature," he says. He's leaning on the counter now, looking familiar. It's the Italian blood. Me grandad had an ice cream parlour in Stoke. I can't tell if he's teasing. He's got his tea now. He's stirring in the sugar, but he's not shifting. "My name's Romeo," he says. "And mine's Juliet," say I. "No, it's not. You're called Donna," he says. "Who told you that?" He sort of winks at me and says, "It's on your badge, darling." I feel myself blushing, 'cause he's right. It is on me badge, but I keep forgetting I'm wearing it. Jack had them made. They're new. They're really nice, but he doesn't mind when we forget them. I feel stupid. To cover it up, I say, "I tanned up for my sister's wedding." Shouldn't have said that. "Not married yourself, are you?" he asks. "I'll bring you scrambled eggs over," I say. "Where's the wedding?" he wants to know. "You're very chatty today," I say. "I'm single," he says. Luckily, at this moment, one of our regulars comes in, Simeon from the locksmiths, and it's all, "Hello, Donna. Hi, Sim, your usual. How's your mum? Is she any better?" It was good to have a bit of backup. Romeo saunters off, takes a seat in the window, but keeps facing this way, keeps his eyes on me. And I feel this glow coming over me. I'm not exactly blushing, it's more that I'm sort of radiating heat from all over my body. Not a heat like standing in the kitchen doing a fry-up, but more a magnetic glow. It's coming from me, but it's Romeo that's causing it. It's his style, his nonchalance, the way he sticks his fork into his eggs, lifts up a mouthful, looks at it and beyond it at me, and then carefully swallows it down. I can feel myself going down his throat. Then he cuts a piece of toast and holds it high and salutes me with it and devours it. I'm mesmerised. I can't help myself. I can't take my eyes off him. I try to look anywhere but at him. I try to start up a chat about last night's Emmerdale with Michelle and Em back in the kitchen. I pretend to be polishing up the noisy coffee machine. I nod and smile at Mrs. Howe, who's come in for her apple pie and custard for her blood sugar. I buff up my fuchsia nails on a bit of kitchen towel. I gaze at the thick neck of unholy Joe as he reads our copy of The Sun with his greasy fingers, but I can't resist. My eyes keep swivelling back at him of their own accord. is like a magnet. And every time I look, he's still gazing at me, as though he can't get a good enough view, as though he could eat me on toast. Our eyes get tangled up, I'd swear it. They interlock. Then Jack calls me from the kitchen. Sally needs a hand with the big takeaway order for the men at Orgreaves, and I'm afraid he'll leave as soon as I'm out of his sight. I'm flustered as I pack up the sandwiches. A lot of tuna today, more tuna than pork. Are they all turning veggie? Yes, he'll have cleaned his plate and gone, I say to myself, and my skin feels tight and prickly. But when I go back, there he is, my Romeo, sitting it out, waiting for me. I can't help smiling. And he gets up, ever so slow, ever so deliberate, and comes over to the counter. He leans on it and gazes at me close. You never answered me question, he says. You never asked me one, I says. Yes, I did, he says. I asked if you was married. I've got 2 kids back home with me mum, I say, as perky and proud as I can. But what's the point? I'm slipping down his throat, or he's slipping down mine. We're both hooked together, and the sizzling of the bacon, and the hot smell of the fry-up, and the sound of unholy Joe munching and rustling the paper, and the yapping of Sim's little dog tied up to the railing outside, and the lorries rattling by to the scrapyard, are part of us. We couldn't be anywhere else in the universe. We're there, together, forever, in Jack's Crossroads Cafe. I'll have a coffee for now, he says. And then he pauses for a long, long time. And I wonder what's coming next. And then he says, and I'll be back for a hot pork sandwich tomorrow. They look Boston, those sandwiches. I thought you was a hot pork sandwich man, I say. And I paused too. When you came in, I said. Well, you was right, he says. You can read me like a book, Donna. Thank you, say I. And he will be back. I've never felt so sure of anything in my life. I feel the power. I feel the heat. And it's not the heat from the kitchen.